As your little baby starts to become a toddler, they are strengthening their mind, their body, and their sass, which, trust me, I am in full-on toddler mode, and it's hard because I don't get my kisses or my hugs on demand like I want to because he is starting to say no. You've heard about the terrible twos. We've got to also talk about the terrible 10 months. That's a time when they are growing and developing and discovering all these new words, and you have to decipher as the parent what they're saying through also their behavior, which can sometimes be a challenge. There are some days that I just can't tell what my little one is thinking. In lieu of a baby translator, which would be really handy, I have gotten with an expert who is gonna weigh in with their 2 cents. Today, I spoke with Michelle Tangeman, who is a licensed marriage and family therapist. Let's see what she has to say about baby behavior. Thank you so much for being with us. Can you basically introduce yourself and just give us a little information about who you are and what you do and where your specialty lies?
My name is Michelle Tangeman. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a board-certified behavior analyst. I have a private practice here in the greater Los Angeles area where I work with children and families, specifically providing parent education and parent support so that they feel strong and confident in their parenting.
When a baby is crying, when should you respond?
Crying is the only way that they know how to communicate to you. So my advice here is to always respond. Honey, I'm here. It looks like you need something. Can you tell me? Can you point? And that's really specific to maybe when a child turns about 10 months. That's when you really kind of start to see a kid pointing.
What would be some cues that your baby can use to try and communicate with you that you should start to look for as they're kind of going through that 0 to 10 month phase, 10 months to a year phase?
So starting with sleepy cues, you might see your child yawning. They might become quiet or not wanting to play. Even crying is a sign of maybe I'm tired. And when it really intensifies the crying, it could mean I'm overtired. In regards to hunger cues, your child could be kind of heading towards the breast or maybe heading towards the bottle or opening their mouth or sucking on their hands or their lips. And in terms of play cues, this is when you see, this is so fun for parents, right? Especially new parents, you see their eyes wide open big and they're smiling, they're making eye contact. They might turn their head or like jerk their head towards you as their way of saying, engage with me, play with me.
What would be your understanding of the terrible twos and terrible ones and behavior in that process?
So the terrible twos is a social construct. I would love for us to kind of move away from that term and really looking at this period of development, the toddler years, so anywhere from 12 months to 4 years old, as a declaration of independence. Because developmentally, what's happening to them is that there's this strong need to remain close to the caregiver, right? Like they've formed a healthy, strong attachment to the primary caregiver. But at the same time, they're starting to, they're able to move, right? They're either crawling, they're walking, they're able to create this space, this distance. And so what you see is this strong desire to be really close to the caregiver, but at the same time, like, ooh, my environment is so much bigger. I want to go explore.
Is saying no or can saying no be detrimental and have detrimental effects to the child?
What I like to encourage is, what is the boundary? Honey, I'm trying to keep you safe. That's not something you can put in your mouth. Why don't you come play with this, right? So you're providing, here's my boundary, and then you're redirecting to something that they can do, okay? So that it's not just an automatic no, shut down, and then, okay, now the child's left with like, okay, maybe I'll go find something else to do.
Before we leave you, can you give us any information of where people can find you as far as to get more information, to get more of those helpful tips?
I have 3 resources that I want to share with everyone. For all the new parents, these are my 2 favorite books. The Bottom Line for Baby, it gives you everything that you need to know for the first year of life. It's just beautifully broken down. The second book is called Cribsheet. If you're a parent that really values science and what the science has to say, this is a must-have on your bookshelf. I also offer a mini course, and the mini course is awesome because it teaches parents how to identify what their child is communicating so that you can really encourage and foster teaching the behaviors that you want to see your child engage in more often. It only takes 30 minutes to get through. It's really easy to consume, and I encourage all parents with toddlers to check it out.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for being with us today on today's episode of In the Know Milestones. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Babies are so fascinating. They have so much going on in those adorable little heads of theirs. But thanks to the tips we learned from Michelle, it'll be easier to understand them. Thanks for joining us again on In the Know Milestones. We'll see you next time.